All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We are back. It's your boy Ham on a Tuesday, filling in for Mr. Titletown, who's jet setting back to Arizona. Hey, if you don't know, Title getting married in a couple weeks, maybe this weekend. Hey, send him congratulations. See Gyiraszin shaking his head. Maybe don't do it. Gyiraszin and I know what's up. So, yeah, big congrats to our guy Title. Nobody works hard over here at SHIPIT Nation. So congratulations to him and his bride on their nuptials this weekend. I think it is this weekend. But I'll kick it over to you, Gyiraszin. What's going on, man? How's it going? We talked a little bit before about the live final. Hey, but let's how was the live final? I don't know. I don't think it turned out the way you wanted it to. I know you're there for some SHIPIT Nation people. How's your Tuesday going, my man?
Dude, it's hot as balls here in Michigan. Man, it's hot. Fucking damn, it's hot. But I'll tell you what, man, it was a real good fun, a lot of fun over there at that DK event. They put us up across from Wrigley Field, which, you know, for a baseball nerd like me, man, it was pretty cool sitting across the stadium there. And if you've ever been there before, it's like literally in the middle of a subdivision. There's like, you wonder like where the hell all these people park, man. You know, it's interesting, but it was pretty cool. We went and had the live final. We went to DK Sportsbook, got to party, hang out a little bit, got to hang out with the boys, Tambo and Rio, and we hung out, had some fun. And then we went out, of course, hit the town a little bit. Sunday, we got to go to the Tigers-White Sox game. It was funny, Ham. We're sitting there, right, and I'm talking to my wife. We're in the suite. We're overlooking in the stadium. And I look at my phone, and it says 12:55. In my brain, it's telling me that this White Sox game starts at 2:10, right? But I forget I'm an hour back. So I'm literally like 10, 15 minutes before the game starts. I look over Edge. I go, man, they better get some people in here. This game starts in an hour. There ain't nobody here, man. It was like 1,000 people in the whole fucking stadium. So I told her, I go, this is pretty sad. She goes, you know, the game starts in like 10 minutes. I was like, oh my God, that's even worse. But like literally nobody was there. I don't blame them. They got like 31 and 100. One of the dudes in the
lost
suite
last night.
Yeah, I had my Tiger shot. He's like, at least we're not going to be the worst of all time with 119 losses. I'm like, bro, you got to win like 11 of 12 of your last 30. Like, what do you fucking mean? You guys are going to be the worst ever. Like, what are you talking about? So we were kind of laughing about that. But, man, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Hey, I giggled when you mentioned Title because I was thinking now, I got married last December in Arizona, and it was hot as shit. And I thought any idiot gets married in the middle of summer in Arizona is going to die. You sweat your ass off. Now, I believe Title is getting married in Wisconsin.
Yeah, he is. He is, yeah.
Well, that's way smarter because I'm telling you, if you had to put a suit on in Arizona, you'd lose 5 pounds of body water weight in an hour because it's just hot. But, yeah, a lot of fun. Let's just get it down. We got, 9 games I think we got in this slate here. And, like, why the hell did they include the 640 games? Like, come on, man. We could have had a big whopper slate. I saw DK put up a contest, 762, the home run record.
Oh, yeah.
Contest up there, $762. I think it's $100K up on top. But I thought that was interesting. But, yeah, looking forward to breaking this down. I don't get to do shows with you, Ham. I get stuck. You know, I got Title, I got BJ. Not complaining, but I just don't get any Ham. I don't get Nades either. I don't get any of you two.
I know. Nades is in the chat. Come on, Nades. Where are you at, Nades? Nades needs to be on these shows. Hey, Nades. Hey, my guy owned you yesterday. My who was it? Dean Martin the third or whatever. Just own those Tigers. But hey, your boy Torkelson.
Birthday homer.
I don't know if you saw, the news, the melancholy news, but, there were some grumblings that YouTube legend Sean V passed away, which is super sad. And, Sean V at all, Gyiraszin?
No, if it's not on a sports channel, I probably don't know it.
Well, he was always in these YouTube chats and, he was in our YouTube chat. But anyway, he would always come in with these home run narratives. He's from El Cerrito, California, playing the Dodgers. And, man, Torkelson went yard on his birthday. That was something else Sean V would have said in one of those YouTube chats. I just thought it was kind of ironic that he did. Hold on. Even if Martin did good, the bullpen is ass. That is correct, Nades. That bullpen, I was ready to cut because so yesterday, Gyiraszin, Nades and I were on the show. I was talking about this Martin cat for the White Sox who's terrible. He pitched terrible, got lucky, and then they took him out, and Torkelson hit his bomb. I think they scored like 5 runs in the 6th, 7th, or 8th or something like that. But, man, that White Sox team is pretty putrid. It's pretty bad. But
I'll tell you, him. When I was at the game, we were up in the suite it was like up there in left field, maybe like middle of the row of the stadium. DK had this big-ass suite. Well, I told the wife, let's go down there. Look, there ain't nobody sitting behind that Tiger dugout. Let's go on down there. Like, let's go check it out. I like to walk around the stadiums. I've been to – I think that one's like I think that put me at the halfway point. I've been to like half the MLB stadiums. So I was telling her, let's just go sit down there. So we sat down there. And at the end of that game, Colt Keith, I think, or McKinstry hit a homer. There was a couple homers at the end there. And this old guy stood up by me, and he's like, I'm sick of this shit. They better do something about this every damn time they bring in somebody from on that bullpen. It's like he just starts bitching, and I wanted to take a video of him and laugh. But, yeah, it's some rough sailing times over there with the White Sox. But, man, we're at the live final. Them Cubbies were smashing, man. Like, freaking Suzuki hit 2 homers that day. All them Cubs fans, I was sitting there thinking the answer was right in front of my damn face. How many times did I go outside and get high, and I'm looking at Wrigley Field, taking selfies, getting high by Wrigley Field sign and shit, and I'm like, fucking Cubs right here under my damn nose. The answer was right there. But good times.
That begs the question, though, too, is like, why did DK not wait till a Cubs home game where it's much nicer neighborhood, obviously better team? I don't know. That's not.
Dude, it was like 6.8 miles from Wrigley to the White Sox Stadium, and it took us 48 minutes to get there on a Sunday at whatever, like noon, 1 o'clock. Like, that's not even generally typically, shitty driving, times. Like, how the hell, like 48 minutes? And then the best part too, Ham, we're sitting outside, I start getting high safety meetings. I got to make sure everybody's safe in the neighborhood. I got to check it out. Well, there was an apartment complex right behind our hotel. It was this little apartment, and they had a sign, 1 spot for lease. It said 1. So I looked it up. 700 square feet, Ham, 1 bedroom, $28.95 a month. I was like, what? I was thinking, even if you are a young hipster that walks around, who the fuck every money you'd make, you'd have to pay in your rent. And I'm like, you can't have a car. I'm like, why would you want to live here? It's like, why? I don't get it. $3,000 a month for 700 square foot? Nah. Yeah,
no, thank you. Well, we got some baseball to talk, but before we get into that, we got NFL coming up, Gyiraszin. I know me and you love some NFL, especially over on FanDuel. We're going to listen to a little ad from my guy, D-Gen. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Take a look. Check this out.
I just checked my calendar, and you know what? It's August, which means one thing. Football's back, and if you can't get excited for football in August, I got nothing for you, big guy. The big guy is excited. Guy in the back is excited. SHIPIT Nation is excited, and darn it, you better be excited too. So let's get started. Everything that SHIPIT Nation has to offer you in 2024. I hope you saw what an incredible year it was at SHIPIT Nation in 2023 for NFL season. And if you're thinking to yourself, I want all that again, well, don't worry. You're going to get it all and more. We have an entire team over here at SHIPIT of just the sweatiest tryhards you've ever met who are ready to offer you every single thing you need for every single slate, including the stack rankings, the DVP rankings, slate plans, player pools, every single thing. And oh yeah, if you don't know, all the stuff that I did at my site last year, DGen75, is now over at SHIPIT. I told you were going to get everything we offered and then more. So it's no surprise that at SHIPIT Nation, they had 3 Millionaire Maker winners last year, over 2 dozen six-figure winners, and a handful of game-changing hits from our community. But what is it that I'm bringing over from DGen75 that's so special? Well, first of all, this thing called the Stone. If you don't know, I invented this for college football to try to help everybody, and now it has just turned into the best tool in all of DFS. You want my ownership and my projections. You want to know who's a good cash play, who's a good GPP play. I put it all into one place called The Stone. I do this for PGA. I do this for college football. We do this for NFL. And here's the best part. You get all of this in one place in addition to everything that SHIPIT Nation is already offering. You're still getting your Tambo, your Hoop, your Marley, your Title, your Hamwich. All of those guys, the sweatiest tryhards, are now there, and you get this in addition to the tools. And here's the best part. None of it is an upsell. It's all the same price, if not cheaper than everybody else in the community and you're getting double the tools. This is what we do at SHIPIT. We want you spending your money on your contests and not on your content. So if that NFL stone caught your eye, let me tell you about the college football stone. I know a lot of you are saying college football is not even legal in 20 states. Yeah, but that means it's still legal in 30. And I am telling you, college football DFS is the next sport that's coming up. If you're intimidated by it, you don't know anything about it, well, don't worry. I have a stone right here that tells you what's a good cash play, what's a good GPP play, ownership, projections, everything you need, just like we offer for NFL. This was a big part of the merger when DJing came over, is I wanted to bring this over to SHIPIT Nation so people can see how fun college football DFS is. And you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't want to pay no $300 for no college football package. Well, don't worry. We don't separate our packages. We only have a football package. NFL and college football are one package, and here's the best part. Even if you just want to play NFL, our package is already cheaper than all of the competition, and you're basically just getting college football for free. So why in the hell would you not want it? It is an awesome tool. I have the sweatiest try-hard team behind me. College football DFS is a great little addition, and we don't upcharge you because, once again, put your money into your contests and not into your content. So what is this great price, and how does it compare to the competition? Well, let's just put up a chart, Bob. Here you go. You can see that we don't break it into a bunch of packages. We just have a football package, which includes both NFL and college football for $299. Here's the best part. You sign up before September 5th. We're going to give you free run of the entire website, MMA, PGA, MLB. You can be doing all of that stuff all the way up till September 5th just on us, because that's what we do to take care of our members. Not to mention, when you look at this, just start comparing the price. You are literally going to be saving hundreds, if not thousands of dollars during the season. That is things you could be putting into your DraftKings and FanDuel lineups and not wasting, giving it to your touts and paying for shit that you don't need. Pay for what you deserve and get quality. That is what we offer here at SHIPIT Nation. 2024 has been a magical year for SHIPIT Nation. The merger between SHIPIT Nation and DGen has gone better than we could have ever expected. Just look at the success across NASCAR and PGA, MMA, MLB. All of the sports out there have been incredible, and now we're going to carry it over to this football season with NFL and college football, and we are going to blow your hair back by giving you the best product at the best price out there. We're also going to teach you about sustainability, about how to play DFS sustainably so you can be there long enough to hit those wins, to get those big hits. We don't care if it's $50, $500, $5,000. We want you to play long enough until you can hit it, and we can do that by giving you great tools at an affordable price, and that is our mission here at SHIPIT Nation. Come be a part of the most incredible community out there. Come be a part of a place that teaches you how to win, and come be a part of a place that celebrates your wins and not fucking moderators' wins. It's been awesome. 2024, the year of SHIPIT Nation. Come join the nation. It's going to be special in 2024. I'm out, you motherfathers.
And we're back. Thank you, my guy, DGen. He always gets me hyped up. I know that's a little long video, Gyiraszin, but man, his excitement, second to none. So head on over here, join the nation, enter the promo code NFL50, get you $50 off, $3.99 for the entire season. That's NFL and college. So let's talk some baseball. If you're ready, Gyiraszin, I'm going to share my screen, show off some of the tools that we got going on here. Please wait. I'm going to go to our site, The Stone, or our site where we have the projections, The Stone, GPP Core. I'm assuming you can see my screen right there. Hold on. Let me switch. I got to switch screens. I'm new at this. Boom. There we go. Now you can see it perfectly. We're going to talk a little bit about it, go into The Stone. Not every game. We're going to start with the DK 9-game slate, as you alluded to earlier, Gyiraszin. First game up on the slate is going to be those Blue Jays taking on the Boston Red Sox. But hey, let's do pitchers first. Sorry, Gyiraszin, I screwed up there. I'm gonna go to our pitcher rankings. See where our pitcher rankings in. We always start 8K and above. Talk to me up in that range, and then I'll show the people some of these rankings over here. Talk to me about the 8K and above range. Where are you going? We have Flaherty, we have Cease, we have Gilbert, all in great matchups. Talk to me about this range up here.
Yeah, I think it's interesting with pitching today, to be honest with you. For one, there's a little bit of concern with weather. I don't think it's overly concerning in that Seattle or St. Louis and San Diego game. So we got Dylan Cease in that one, who obviously is going to be somebody we're going to be looking at. I assume he'll be fairly popular. You got him 31% K rate against the Cards. And then I think up here in this top range, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 guys up here, or am I counting right? Actually 7. I'm not a fan of Crochet here against Texas, so I'm going to take him out at 8K. Paft, whatever you want to call him. I'm not quite sure I want to go there. Logan Webb, I think that would be more of a pivot for me here against the Brewers. But the guys up above, I think Schwellenbach, he's been pitching really well here recent times. He's, this guy, 30 point, look at his game, like 30 points, 17, 18, 26, 40. So last 3 out of 5, this guy's been 26 or higher. I think with the matchup here we have against the Twins, I think Schwellenbach is somebody I'm definitely interested in. I think the chalk is going to be Gilbert. I mean, obviously, I got to say it, Ham. I mean, there's been people talking about that walking bets chick whose titties are bouncing around while she's talking about bets. Whoever's giving her bets is a fucking donkey. Yesterday they said, oh, take the under in the strikeouts against the Rays. Really? She gave the same fucking pick today. Gilbert under like 5.5 Ks or something. I'm like, what the fuck? I tweeted, I'm like, whoever's giving you these picks is a fucking idiot. You don't bet on the unders of these K rates. Like, you're going to lose more times than not. Like, I don't know. Maybe that shit just.
I didn't know she was giving bets. I was just looking at other things in that video, but
I didn't hear her the first couple times. But if you slow down the video, Ham, she actually is talking, I guess. So, but I mean, them things are some big. I mean, them things be flapping around like this. Like, them things are like, I don't even know. But either way, I do think Gilbert is going to be pretty chalky. Obviously, you got Tampa. You got Cease here, who, to me, it seems like maybe in my mind, but it just seems like ever since he threw his no-no, he's been shit show. So, I mean, he went off with that 50-pointer there on, a month ago? He's had what? He had a 23 bounce back. He had 5, 7, 16, 18. Like, he's not getting the job done. I think that's a little bit concerning. He got 7, 5, 5, 2. But, I mean, his pitch count's been there. It just hasn't been – it seems like he hasn't been the same. But, I think this up top here is interesting. I think Flaherty – I mean, if I had to choose, I think I'd rather have Cease than Flaherty. I think both of them have some strikeout upside. But for me, Gilbert and Schwellenbach here are interesting. I mean, I'd probably look at Heaney down below too, is probably another guy I'd be looking at. I don't think I'd go much lower than probably Heaney on DK, the 7K. I'd probably stay up in the higher range. Mignata, maybe you could go there too if you want. I think the Myers love probably is a little bit over.
Mignata, you're talking about tomorrow, or are you talking about Sean Manaea?
Sean Manaea, and I think Myers.
Well, we haven't gotten down below 8K yet.
I know. I just working my way back up because there's only a few spots here up in the top range I like. So we'll get at it here, Ham. If you look at it, I got Gilbert 1, Schwellenbach 2, Cease 3, Flaherty 4.
Yeah, no, I would agree with a lot of that. I saw Nades chiming in that Gilbert. I'm with you. I mean, that Miller guy last night had 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. This Rays team is not very good. And as you can see, I'm showing our pitcher rankings over here. These are the DK rankings. You can see, you can break it down by slate. I have the main and the night slate on here. We have Logan Gilbert as our number 1 pitcher. Jack Flaherty is the number 2 pitcher on the main slate. You can see over here, he's the number 3 overall ranked pitcher. We have Justin Steele right above him. And then Dylan Cease would be number 3. Now, this is just on the main slate. He's number 5 overall. But we have all these pitcher rankings for FanDuel, for DraftKings. Schwellenbach's not up there. I mean, I don't know. The people I scrolled down there earlier. I'm not going to scroll down now and give them all the goods. Hey, but Schwellenbach's not in the top 3. I think there's something to be said about that. Hey, I'm going Logan Gilbert's my favorite one up here. All right, now let's talk a little bit about 8K and below. I know you've talked a little bit on them. Not playing Crochet, I don't think so. What about any of these guys? You got Tobias Myers, you got Sean Manaea, you got Springs, who's looked good. Woods Richardson has been decent, but doesn't strike out many. You talked a little bit about Heaney. Talk to me about these guys. Any interest in anyone down in this range?
Man, I think I can almost pretty much just look at Heaney, really. I mean, I can't go Manaea. I think that's just way too risky. I think Heaney's the only team just because the White Sox suck. They're like the worst team against – I think they're the worst team against everything. I don't even think it matters what they are. I'll tell you, Ham, when we were at that live final thing, we were laughing. We added up all the home runs for the White Sox, the whole 9, and they didn't have as many as Aaron Judge. It was pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, really, it's just hard to pick down below. There isn't really too many. I mean, you started from the bottom. Munoz, no thanks, and Coors. I'm not looking at anything there. Mikolas doesn't have the strikeouts. Not looking at Criswell. I'm not looking to go against the Dodgers with with Irvin. Heaney be really about it again because the White Sox suck. Maybe Springs if you wanted to look at Springs, but the problem with Springs is his pitch count sucks. He never, he's up in the 70s, 80 range. And then, Manaea, like I said, he's up and down. He's like a roller coaster. He'll get you 25 one start and 1 the next start. So, that's definitely risky. I think that could be a definite pivot off of Heaney if you wanted to look at that route. If you wanted to build up more bats, I think maybe you could look at that route. But for me, I mean, like I said, I think the strikeout upside is pretty high with Schwellenbach and Gilbert and them two matchups that I think one of the two are definitely going to go off. And, man, you look at Schwellenbach, dude, his game log, I think he's had 53 Ks his last, 6 games, 9, 8, 7, 10, 11, 8. I mean, so you almost can pretty much assume you're going to probably get 8 Ks out of the guy today. If he gets any kind of, innings here, I mean, this guy's going to put up a pretty nice number. So that's why I'm looking. It's just so hard. I think today there's a few pitchers, a few options, but, I don't blame Flaherty. I wouldn't blame you for Cease. But I think Gilbert and Schwellenbach stand out. Heaney, like I said, would be another guy that I could probably get on board if I'm looking for a little bit extra money for some bats.
I agree with everything you said, except I do have a little bit of interest in Springs. Hopefully he can get to 85 pitches. I think it's about his max. But, man, this Mariners team, 30% K rate over the last 300-plus ABs against lefties. They're pretty bad against left-handed pitching. Plus, you got that ballpark. I had some Pepio last night. I mean, I thought he was dealing, and then he just got 2 strike to death. I know Polanco hit a 2-run bomb. They got an error with 2 outs, ended up scoring 3 runs. I mean, those were unearned, but, still more pitches that he has to throw. So give me some Springs tonight. I like him. Give the people your top 3. Let's go top 3, then maybe one low-owned guy that you're going to be playing tonight.
Top 3, I'd probably go Gilbert 1, Schwellenbach 2. I think I'd go Cease 3, and then I'd probably even go down here to Heaney would be 4. If I was to play a low-owned guy, it'd probably be Mañana. Even though Arizona's been fairly hot recently, one of the more hot-hitting teams, I just think them traveling back from Boston, they did get a day between, but I don't know. I think Mañana's a good enough pitcher to shut them down. But I think that would be about it, but I do think that's pretty risky. But I think Webb and Gilbert and Schwellenbach are in such good spots. Like I said, I think this is a day where you got to be a little bit more concerned about pitching than some of the recent times we've seen, because I think there's a few guys here that can put up some pretty big numbers. Yeah,
the Gilbert's going to come in. We have him at 50% ownership in the flagship contest, which is pretty high. I think you can always make a case to fade him, but, man, that's a tough fade. And he's locked in right now, especially at home, especially against that offense that is pretty putrid. Moving on to game by game. Hopefully I don't screw it up this time.
Hey, I'm real quick. I saw Wardo here. I like to, we got to shout out to people real quick. Title's really good at that. But Wardo, I'll catch you here in a minute with the love for Webb. But, of course, we got Nades, Ben Jizzy, Matt Smith, Gator Nation, Juice, Takedown, Kenny Linson, Justin Sports, Lone Wolf, Jake, Parabay in the house, Gang Green, Corey Williams, Taco Todd. Of course, we got Nate, Greg, Wins a lot, Casey, Michael W., all you guys. We appreciate you guys being here with us, talking a little baseball. But for Webb, you know what? I think he might be a guy. Actually, when you said that, I did look at Webb a little bit. I mean, I just think the other guys are in a little better spots, in my opinion. Webb's been pitching great his last 5 starts. I think his ERA is under 1. His walk rate's really low. I don't mind that. He's more of a ground ball pitcher. I don't know. I just think I got him a little bit below these other guys. I wouldn't fault you if you wanted to play him because there doesn't seem to be too many options here, but I just don't have him up there with the other guys. I have a pretty big gap between Gilbert and Schwellenbach than I do for Webb.
The thing with Webb is he's just an innings eater. Just looking at his game log, 100 pitches. dadgum, I didn't realize this, Gyiraszin. Maybe he hasn't been on the main slate, but last 5 starts, 38, 19, 31, 32, 23, tough to beat. He's got a little bit tougher matchup tonight. I know Nades hopes that Gary Sanchez is going to be in the lineup, which he probably won't because it's a righty. But, yeah, hey, that ballpark, I don't think it's the worst thing. But, yeah, appreciate you shouting out all those people. We appreciate all 150 of you tuning in right now. Gyiraszin helping me out with this co-hosting duty. This is more of a Nades thing, man. Come on, Nades, we need you. But we're going to go in game by game. I'm going to go into the MLB. We're going to go back to the Stone as where I was earlier. We're going to get in here, look at the Stone for a couple of these games. Gyiraszin, so first team up. Let's talk about any love for the Blue Jays. They were rocking and rolling last night. We got Criswell on the hill. We don't have any interest in him. He's more of an opener, I believe. And so any interest in the Blue Jays or any interest in any of those Red Sox bats going up against Yariel Rodriguez?
I mean, we come out the gate, these 9 games, like we talked about, a little bit hot. I mean, this Toronto-Boston game's got a total of 10. We got the Coors game, which is sitting at 11. Then we got a bunch of 8s and a 6.5. So, I mean, there's obviously going to be some bats here that we're going to want to look at, especially games sitting there at 10. You know, I think the Red Sox against Rodriguez is definitely interesting. Devers just absolutely just been smashing. Duran's been hitting pretty well since the last few weeks. Cass is coming back, helped that lineup get a little longer. I think the Red Sox are in a really good spot coming out the gate. That Toronto bullpen is ass, sucks. So I think the Red Sox, one of my favorite stacks coming right out, Ham. So they'd be one of the teams here that I'd definitely be looking at here today. Just trying to look real quick at team totals. I mean, you're sitting here 5.6 with the Red Sox. Rocky's sitting 6.4. So, I mean, they got the second highest team total on the slate. But like I mentioned, that Toronto bullpen does suck. So give me some Red Sox here. I think the Red Sox are in a really good spot.
Yeah, Red Sox in a great spot. I would agree with you there. Just for the people that may be tuning in for the first time, this is a Stone. We have it for college football. We have it for NFL, NBA. We're showing MLB here. Obviously, you can see the Blue Jays. This is road splits versus right-handed pitching. So you can see George Springer. You can see the price on both sites, which way he bats. 182 plate appearances against right-handed pitching on the road, only striking out 16% of the time. We have a DK projection, FanDuel projection, all in one place. Then we rank all the hitters based upon that. So this Stone, Gyiraszin, I'm sure you do it too, but this is kind of where I go every day, every slate to look at. I know Nades is a big on the Stone as well. This thing is the Stone Cold Nuts over here at the Nation that I use simply every day to build my lineups. It's a great piece. Obviously, green is good, red is bad. You can see Varsho has struggled at almost a 31% K rate on the road. So moving on to the next game, we had those Bravos last night. Gyiraszin, the Braves were in Minnesota. They put up 9 runs, and then Mother Nature intervened. I think they only got 1 after that. But you're going back to the Braves side. I don't think you'll have any Twins love, but any Braves loves going up against Simeon Wood Richardson and his 20% strikeout rate to both sides of the plate.
Yeah, I think it's definitely interesting. I mean, Olsen been hitting a little better here recently. I mean, Woods Richardson's a little bit reverse splitsy with the power. I mean, he's given up a little bit higher ISO to righties. Seems to do pretty good limiting contact to the left side. But, I guess like Ozuna would be interesting, obviously. I just don't like him as a stack as much here. I mean, Woods Richardson isn't anybody I've picked on here the season here. The Braves are hitting better as of recent times too. I mean, so that's something. The last 7 days, I believe they were 6. Is that right? Make sure that's right. No, they're in the top. Actually, they've fallen. They're 12th now in OPS in the last 7 days. They're actually a little higher a little bit ago here. Yeah, they're 11th. So they've actually been kind of trending backward a little bit. But I still like the Braves. I mean, they're the Braves. I don't mind them here, but it's not one of my stacks here. I just don't like going against Wood Richardson. I just rather pass. He's, Richardson's ground ball rate 40% to lefties, 35% to righties, fly ball rate around 31% to both sides of the plate. I think's interesting. Like I said, I just don't like picking on him.
Yeah, I like the Braves a little bit, and part of the reason I do is this Twins bullpen is pretty taxed, Gyiraszin. They had 3 pitchers. Like I said, they had rain come in. Who was it last night? Ober was dog shit last night anyway. But then they had 3 different relievers come in and throw 30-plus pitches. They've had 7 relievers over the last 3 days throw 30-plus pitches. So their bullpen is pretty taxed. They may have Woods Richardson wear one tonight if he's not getting the job done. So I think the Braves are going to be sneaky tonight. I like them And then, yeah, I'm with you. No Twins love for me either. One more thing on the website, and then I'm gonna go back to just you and I. Head on over to Ship It Nation, though. Get all this information where we have the stone. Let's talk a little bit about, if I could stop doing this, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the stack rankings and just see where the Braves stack up in our rankings. Once again, we have it for DraftKings and FanDuel. You can break it down by slate. I'm going to do this, the best 5-man stack. Hey, looky there. The Yankees, number 1 in the stack rankings tonight. Rockies, number 2. Dodgers, 3. You can see the Marlins. Man, the Marlins crashed and burned last night. We'll get to them here shortly, but I did want to show that off over here at the Nation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Gyiraszin. I'm going to get us back to where it's me and you, where I can look at you. Boom. There we go. Adjust my screen. Next game up on the slate is going to be the San Diego Padres, who Nades was all over last night. They obliterated Kyle Gibson. Manny Machado did. Padres taking on Michaelis. Can't strike anybody out. Like you said, do you have any love for the Padres tonight, or do you have anybody going up against against Dylan Cease?
No, as I mentioned, a little bit of weather here in this one here. From what we're seeing, it's rated yellow. So just make sure you guys are checking that one out. It seems like I got shorter, so I'm like I'm down lower or something all of a sudden. But either way, I think this one here is one. You obviously don't want to fool with St. Louis. I mean, I don't even really like the other side for leverage. I just don't really like this St. Louis lineup. Cease been pitching really well. 36% K rate to the right side. So definitely be wanting to go after. He's got 42% ground ball rate, the lefty. I mean, I don't think you want to really fool here with Dylan Cease. He does have a 34.4 fly ball percentage to left side. So I guess you even wanted to pick out one guy for potential one-off homer. I mean, fly ball rates don't look very good. I always look for that 30% number. You only got Matt Carpenter down there in the 8-hole, 36. Nobody else. I mean, you got Burleson 27, Donovan's 27, Schmidt 27, Scott at the bottom 27. So I'm not even a fan of any of these guys here, to try to pull a one-off for anything of that sort. St. Louis, Mikolas, ground ball pitcher, right side, 45% to righties. Doesn't really give up too many hard hits. I mean, this guy just generally doesn't get beat up, just a steady old veteran. San Diego hasn't been a team I've been, really playing all much this year at this point. I just don't see a reason why to start now, especially with a guy like Mikolas. So I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Yeah, the Padres are tough to stack. And then my home run call of the day yesterday was Lars Nootbaar, Gyiraszin, and all he did was go 0 for 4, then got pinch hit for. Hey, as fate would have it, I'm sure he'll have the game of his life tonight. And you said it. Cease gives up a ton of fly balls and a ton of power to lefties. I don't mind Nootbaar if he's batting cleanup again. And then I won't be stacking those Padres. Great calls by you. Nate said the same thing you said. Carpenter looks good. Best fly ball percentage, if I'm not mistaken, correct, Gyiraszin, for the Cardinals, and he is a lefty as well. Certainly have to watch out for pinch hit risk there. Next up on the slate is going to be Logan Webb taking his game on the road to Milwaukee to visit Nades and crew in the Brewers Stadium. Tobias Myers, who's been pretty good this year. We didn't talk about any Tobias Myers. So this Giants team has been pretty putrid against righties, Nades. So we didn't talk about Tobias. Any interest in these Giants or any interest in these Brewers?
No, I don't really want to pick on Tobias here. I mean, 43% ground ball to lefties, 35 to righties, so slight ground ball lean. I just don't like picking on him here. The Giants aren't really a team unless they're just in a premium spot that I really want to look at here. We got a lot of other teams that we can go with here that don't have a higher team total than 4.1. But I mean, if you look at the fly ball rates, as I mentioned, especially when you got a guy with a little bit ground ball, I don't mind the fly ball rates here by San Fran. I mean, Fitzgerald 35, Conforto 32, Yastrzemski 32. So I don't mind that part of it at all. But I don't know. I think there's other spots here that I'd rather have here tonight than this one here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of really either spot. I like some other spots other than this one.
Yeah, no, understood. Gigi Suki, what's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in. I'm with you. I mean, just looking at this projected Giants lineup from the Stone, Gyiraszin, 38%, 24%, 31%, 25, 32, 32, 38. I mean, that's the percentage of strikeouts. They strike out almost 30% as a team collectively. We're talking over 800 ABs on the road versus righties. Hey, I may be looking at some Tobias Myers. I mean, that's a pretty brutal stretch right there. This Giants team has been abysmal over the last month. And then I'm with you. No Brewers for me. Do like Logan Webb a little bit. It would be William Contreras as a one-off, if anybody. Next up, we're going to the South Side. We're going to Chicago. We're going to where there was 1,000 people in attendance for the Sunday game. Can the White Sox get win number 32? Is it Gyiraszin, or is it going to be lost?
31 and 100. I think they're on pace to be obviously the worst.
On pace to be the worst. We got Andrew Heaney, who's not great, but hey, he's taking on a baseball team that has their golf club sitting on ice, ready to hit the Cancun circuit. Got a lefty. Any love for these Rangers going up against Garrett Crochet, who's been kind of up and down recently? I think he put up, 28 or something last time on DK. Or I don't think you have any White Sox, but any White Sox love maybe as a one-off that you like tonight.
Man, it's so hard to even think about playing any White Sox. I mean, I just went there and watched. We were there Sunday. It's just bad. You look at that lineup. It's god awful. Robert didn't even play on Sunday. It made it even worse. Like I said, without Robert, it was like the whole lineup combined didn't have as many homers as Aaron Judge. But, I mean, you look at Heaney, ground balls, 31 to lefty, 35 to righty, fly balls, 30%-ish. I mean, Heaney's nothing special. K rate, 24%. 21% to lefties. I mean, you'd want to like to pick on Heaney a little bit here, but I mean, I think you're going to see pretty much an all righty lineup that they're projecting, except for Fletcher. You're going to see a bunch of righties here. So I couldn't do it. I can't even stomach. Now I will say another thing. Texas bullpen sucks too. So, if I mean, the White Sox, I just can't, man. Like, but your brain's telling you some of the stuff line up, Ham, but it's like, I can't. I just don't think you're going to win a tournament with more than 3 White Sox on your team. They just don't hit enough. Like, but you want to like it because the numbers are kind of showing that you should. Your brain's telling you, well, they're not in a bad spot, but then you're like, dude, it's the White Sox. They've won 31 games, but I mean, I could see it, but that's kind of why I think Heaney's going to be popular today. I'm trying to talk myself into a couple guys maybe you could use for leverage, but it's just tough, man. I don't know, Ham. It's just tough. Any of these guys here even stand out to you that you think you take a shot on, like a Robert or?
I mean, yeah, I was going to say Robert. Andrew Vaughn's decent, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's like, how many times out of 32 games, 33 games have they been on the winner? I would venture to say at most
Not
3.
very many.
Yeah, probably closer to 0 than 3. So, yeah, I don't see how you could play the White Sox. I want to say the White Sox and Rangers played not too long ago. I know they did. And the White Sox beat up Crochet in Texas pretty badly, I think. I mean, it was over a month ago. Oh, he did pretty good. He still got 15 points. So that's what it was. He only pitched 4 innings. He pitched 4 innings. They took him out. Then they beat up the bullpen, which is one of the worst bullpens. But I don't think this Rangers stack is terrible. We have Heaney under 20% ownership. I actually think it's going to be a lot higher than that. So I think if you wanted some leverage, you could play a Robert and a Vaughn. But I don't think it's much more than a mini. And then what about that Ranger stack? Any interest in attacking Crochet?
I think I'd just rather play the Rangers against a righty, in my opinion. It's kind of hard. I mean, I'd just rather them be from that side of the plate. I mean, you look at it and you're like, well, it is the White Sox. They do suck. So, how do you not want to, maybe look at something along those lines? So, I mean, you could definitely consider that, but I think it would only just be because that bullpen's so bad. I do have a little bit. I wouldn't put them in my top 5. I think they're interesting. But Crochet, I think I'll give him enough respect that I don't think he's going to get beat up. But I'll tell you what, Crochet can throw 6 masterful innings. That bullpen could come in and give up 7 runs, Ham. I mean, That's generally what seems to be the case. So, you could sit there and get pissed off if you stack against him, but you might get all what you need at the end which could be the case. Now, it's kind of shitty going in that route when you're already trying to cut yourself in half, trying to win a tournament, which is kind of why I just am kind of staying away from some of the Rangers. But they're a little bit interesting. Robbie Grossman, if he's going to be sitting there in that 3-hole, I'll tell you, when you see a guy get put up in like a 2 or a 3-hole that normally isn't there, manager knows something, man. And more times than not, those do that. Some of the guys I like to bet on when they get 2+ bases, stuff like that. When you see a guy that gets bumped up like that, generally means he's seeing the ball pretty well.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you. Yeah, they have Josh Smith, or we have Josh Smith projected to bat leadoff. I don't see that. I don't know why Simeon wouldn't be leading off against the righty, but I don't know. We'll see what that lineup looks like when it comes out. But this is more of a pass for me. The Rangers, just not very good versus lefties over the last month. Only about 175 plate appearances. But yeah, I mean, Crochet is like you said, I think he can go 6, and then that bullpen, could give up some. But I'm going to take my chances on another offense.
I'll tell you what, the White Sox are a great team to sit and watch and live bet. Honestly, yeah. Like when I was sitting there at that Tiger game, they jumped out to a 2-bagel lead. Tigers are at plus 180. I'm like, this is stealing. I didn't even have a doubt they were going to lose. Like that, the White Sox, if you're just sitting around and you want to live bet some White Sox, they get up in the beginning of a game. You might as well hurry up, try to get to your phone and live bet that shit because they stink.
Yeah, they're not very good at all. Moving on to the focal point of tonight, we're headed to the Mile High City. We have the disappointing Marlins. I think they scored 2 runs last night. Gyiraszin taking on the Rockies. Hey, the Rockies, they were number 2 in our stack rankings, number 1 on the main slate themselves, taking on some character named Roddery Munoz and his 22% strikeout rate on the road. We do not project him to last long. We do not project him to do well tonight. Any interest in these Marlins bats tonight? Any interest in these Rockies who have the confirmed lineup? And I hate to say it, that Jay Cave not batting leadoff tonight. He's back in the 6th hole. Should be on the bench next to the coach. But any interest in this Rockies lineup?
I mean, I think you got to like the Rockies a little bit here. I mean, this guy here, Munoz, he stinks. I mean, his walk rate is too high. Below average strikeouts, gets hit hard in the air, not ground ball lean. I mean, seems to give up more power to the lefty side. So, I mean, Blackman, I think, is interesting. Doyle, McMahon, Rogers, Taglia. Taglia hits the ball in the air better than anybody else, 38%. So, I mean, I'd go down as far as him. After that, I think it's just some bumpy waters down there with the, 7, 8, 9 hitters. I mean, Jones, maybe you could look at if he's down there, but yeah, I think these Rockies are definitely interesting. Marlins bullpen's been ass ever since that All-Star break trade deadline. They got rid of a few pieces. I'm just not a fan of that bullpen. So I think that's interesting. And then, obviously the other side of that game, that Colorado bullpen isn't anything either. So little disappointing. I mean, Marlins been hitting the ball. Berger's been hitting the ball really well in recent times. So, I think, a little bit interesting. I wouldn't say, I mean, the Marlins are another that's a hard team to stack, like sometimes playing one-off guys. I don't mind that Connor Norby. I think he's interesting. But, yeah, I think, I mean, this one here, I think Norby's an interesting guy up at the top. He's probably going to be one of my favorite Marlins going down. He's a top prospect, as fast as can be. The dude's got some pop. So he's going to steal some bags, hit some homers. But, yeah, I think I think here that this one here, I just can't do it. I'm tired of stacking up this freaking Coors game, and I think there's other spots. You got 2 shit teams. I mean, it's just hard to do, Ham. I don't know, man. I think I'm going to let everybody else do it. I think I'm full fading this one. Even though I did like it yesterday, I should have known better, but I got bit in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, this Marlins team, they're rivaling the who were we talking about earlier that strikes out so much on the road? Oh, it was the what game was that? The Giants. The Rockies are striking out 27. I'm sorry, the Marlins striking out 27% on the road versus righties. Hey, someone said it a minute ago. Some Cal Contra love. Give me some Quantrill and Tobias Myers for all the cheese tonight. As Title would say, I'm going to have to do that on one of my teams just because both of those teams are absolutely abysmal versus right-handed pitching on on the road. Next up is going to be the New York Mets taking on Arizona. We got Sean Manaea on the bump tonight. I think you have a little bit of interest in Manaea. Talk to me a little bit about this game. Any interest in the Mets? I don't think you have any interest in the D-backs, but let me know if there's a one-off or somebody in there you see that you like.
Well, I think the Mets against Rodriguez. I mean, Erod, he just coming back. It's just, I think that's interesting. I don't know if that guy's fighting for a job at this point. Well, no, you got Paff, don't you? I thought Erod was in there for some stupid reason.
Yeah, I think it's it's PFOT is what I'm showing.
All right. I was looking at something else. So I think just sitting here, Paft, I think that's a little more. Mets have been hitting pretty well. Lindor, I mean, all of a sudden everybody's talking about this guy being stinking MVP. Obviously, not going to get there, but hitting really well. I think the Mets are interesting here. I do like the park. I'd like this Mets lineup getting a little better. I think they'd be outside my couple of my favorite stacks here, but I put them close to the top 5. I think the Mets are a little interesting today.
Mets are good. Any D-backs love as a one-off?
The D-backs are one of the hottest teams in baseball recently. I wish they would have scored more runs for me a little bit more on Saturday. But, I think Gurriel's been hitting the ball really well. Eugenio's been hitting the ball really well. I think that'd be about it. Maybe if I was to play some one-offs. Gurriel and Eugenio. Eugenio just came off a pretty good weekend. But Gurriel was one of the hotter hitters in all of MLB before the weekend came through.
Yeah, Suarez was hitting bombs left and right this weekend. I don't think many people played him. Yeah, interesting stack there. Next up, I won't be playing anybody in this game. I like Springs. I like Gilbert. But we have the Rays taking on Seattle, the Mariners in Seattle. Any love, any one-offs? I don't think we're full stack in this game. But any one-offs you like here from either one of these teams?
Nah, I think I'm just going to leave this one alone from both sides. I mean, you could look at Cal Riley maybe, his 45% fly ball rate against lefties. So you could look at something like that if you wanted a one-off maybe. But, I mean, this game's sitting at 6.5. Like I said, I'm still laughing at that lady with the walking titties walking around telling everybody, bet the under on against the Rays strikeouts. So Logan Gilbert, what the fuck you talking about, lady? We all damn well. It's like one of the first teams I look for, and you're propping 2 days in a row to bet against under in the strikeout. I'd have worked for you yesterday. They got 10, you donkey. I mean, hey, you're going to put your face up there. I don't care if your titties are that flopping nice or not. Like I said, things go like this. But either way, Ham, I mean, at least give us something. Whoever's advising that woman, because she ain't picking that shit herself. I don't know. It's some fucking guy that don't know what he's talking about. Like, come on. I mean, we all know at Shipping Nation, you just don't do that. Like, we've been talking about picking on the Rays for how damn long? Seattle, the Rays, like, come on. Oakland, we're not doing that. We don't bet the unders of that. Stop it, lady. There's plenty of shit on the board. You don't bet on that shit. But you do.
Amen to that. There's going to be a lot of strikeouts tonight. I agree with you. There, no bats for me, no one-offs. We got one game left. We kind of mowed through these. If you are new, make sure you're hitting that like. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Leave some comments in the chat section below. One more game we're going to talk about. I think former Oriole great Jack Flaherty. We didn't talk about Flaherty that much, but he's taking on the Orioles. Hey, this should be a pretty good matchup. Could it be a World Series preview? I don't know, but Orioles going into Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. Any love for those late-night Dodgers bats? I don't think we're going to pick on Flaherty, but if there's any Orioles that you like, talk to me.
Dodgers one of my favorite, man, especially the righties here. I think that they're in a really good spot here. I mean, Mookie, we all know always I love Mookie. Me some Mookie, but Cole Irvin gets beat up from the right side. He does have 51% ground ball rate to the left side, 34% ground fly ball rate to the right side. So you obviously want to look at a few of the righties. I think Will Smith's in a great spot. Mookie's in a good spot. You can play some Kiki, Do You Love Me? If you want to play him too. But I'd watch some of these lefties here that might get, potentially, or some of these righties here at the bottom, like Edmund could get, you might see him get pinch hit, even though he is a switch, but Rojas could get pinch hit for Taylor, even Kiki at the bottom. So you might want to kind of watch that a little bit. You might see some Hayward come in. You might see some of them lefties once they yank Irvin out. But, man, I like some of these righties. I think Will Smith would be a guy here that probably go under owned that I think is in a really good spot. But Mookie pretty expensive. But man, you all know I like me some Mookie. But I think
you'll be getting jiggy with it with Will Smith tonight in your lineup, batting cleanup against that lefty. Hey, what I love about this Dodgers team is Cole Irvin strikes out less than 15% on the road. Hey, and this Dodgers team just refuses to strike out. There's going to be some balls in play. Absolutely. Dodgers. I got Dodgers number 2 as my favorite stack. This guy said they cut Michael Hayward. I didn't know that.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't see it either. I thought he played for him the other night. But to your point, once they bring in a righty, they're going to put in a lefty, whoever that is, Max Muncy, whoever that may be. So yeah, I mean that's the thing about that is you're not going to the big four and T.O. I didn't see Teoscar in our lineup. Well, there he is. He's number 5. So yeah, I mean that top 5, they're not getting subbed out as long as the game's close. But hey, they can put up 14 runs in 2 or 3 innings and get your guys to get out. But I love this Dodgers team tonight. Give me your 3 favorite stacks, Gyiraszin, and maybe give me a low owned stack that you're going to have some interest in.
I'm going to say my 3 favorite stacks. I'm going to put Red Sox, Dodgers, and I'll go with some Rockies. I think my low owned stack, I'll say Braves.
Yeah, I'm going to say Braves are my favorite stack. I like
see
the
the look
Braves.
on your face. I stole your Braves, didn't I?
No, you didn't steal them. I hope they're low on because they're my favorite stack. I love them. I think that bullpen's beat up. I think Woods Richardson can't strike anybody out. That's what gives Braves problems. And then those Dodgers late night hammer, the Hoop hammer. Is my boy Hoop going to be on? I saw him filling out his core. Let's see if he's got his core in there.
I need his MMA lineup. I think we all need his MMA lineup in the 555. Dude shipped it 3 damn weeks in a row, 50K.
That's got to be virtually impossible. How do you win the same tournament 3 times in a row? My guy Hoop just prints money in the MMA streets.
Unbelievable. But that's what we do at SHIPIT. It's baseball. If it isn't golf, it's, MMA. And now we got football coming up. Man, Rio smashed it in NBA too. So when I saw Hoop on that 3 times in a row, I was like, are you shitting me, man? That is something else.
Only Hoop, no smarter mind in the industry than Hoop. Says Jason Hayward is with the Astros now. Gyiraszin, you go to sleep, you wake up, and guys that can't play are on other contenders now.
I went to sleep, and Javi Baez all of a sudden came up with the mysterious injury that he has to have surgery for so he can sit out the rest of the year. I was wow. Dude, when they call you up, Javi, you got to say your hip hurts, dude. You slept wrong on the – got to get a surgery. We'll just fake it. You got to sit out the rest of the year. You suck. Terrible.
Yeah. All right, we always do home run calls of the day. Me and my guy Nades. Hey, I swung and missed with Lars Nootbaar yesterday. I'm going to put you on the spot. You got a home run call for the people today.
Going to put me on the spot, a home run call for the people. I'm trying to think of one that might be a little bit off the wall. You know what? I am going to say Jorge Soler.
Jorge Soler. You're going back to my Braves. I love it, Gyiraszin. I think the Braves get the job done. I was going to say a Brave. I was going to say Matty Ice, Matt Olson. Hey, he went yard yesterday. I think he's going to go, but I'm going to go back to my guy. Let me just look. I don't have enough time, but I'm going to say Lars Nootbaar. Love Nootbaar. He's got great numbers against righties at home. We talked about Cease and his fly penchant for fly balls. Gives up tons of power. Good weather in that ballpark. I'm going back to Lars Nootbaar tonight. It's my home run call of the day. Any other things for the people before we get out of here? He's going Big Willie Styles, Ross Casey.
I thought about that one, Ross. I thought about that one, buddy. I really did. I thought about it. I almost said Mookie. I'm like, man, they'll laugh at me. I say Mookie. I could say that every day. You can't say Mookie.
Yeah, Gator Nation has William Contreras. I like that as a unique one as well. But any final closing thoughts for the people before we get on out of here?
Nah, man, excited. Been nice little slate here. We're getting into football. You got like a week or so left, man. You got to balance a little baseball. You got to balance a little football. You got to get in there for your drafts, get it moving. So, hey, nothing better. You guys get over there to Drafters too. Check that out. $100 if you guys want to get some free deposit bonus. You haven't been over there. So, great tool to help yourself out a little bit drafting there. But, man, great time of the year. We got all kinds of stuff going on, get moving in there. We're going to have footballs, basketball, hockey, all kinds of stuff, playoff baseball, all that stuff. Yeah, there you go. If you get in free, man, you get in here before NFL, you get everything for free before when NFL starts. You get full access to the site. You even get college football. So, college football a few years back, they used to have it. I actually made a live final to Playboy Mansion for some college football. Matter of fact, Dak Prescott was at Mississippi State because I played him that day. I know I did. So that's been how long ago that was, Ham. But, college football is a lot of fun.
Hey, Dak, say what you want about Dak, but Dak had Mississippi State, of all teams, as number one in the country. They were rocking and rolling there with Dak back in the day with what was that coach's name? He left and went to Florida. I forget his name. But in any event, Gator Nation would know that. But he went to Florida and ran that program into the ground. Hey, check us out tomorrow. You got my guy Gyiraszin coming back with BJ, Wednesday, Thursday crew. Nades is off on Friday. I'll be back with BJ. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button. On the way out of here, for my guy Gyiraszin, I'm Ham. We'll see ya. Let's ship it.